Welcome back, and now with a look at our 5-day forecast, here's Jessica LaBerge.
The sun will be sticking around through the weekend, so get out and enjoy it while you can. Let's take a look at your 5-day weather forecast. Today will be mainly sunny with a mix of clouds and a 30% chance of flurries. We'll see a high of 3 and a low of -3. We'll have a sunny Saturday with a high of 0 and a low of -7. Sunday, the clouds will roll in with a 60% chance of flurries. Expect a high of -1 and a low of -6. The clouds will continue into the beginning of the week. We'll have a high of -1 on Monday with a low of -4 and a 60% chance of flurries. Tuesday will be cloudy with a high of 0 and a low of -3. With snowflakes dancing in the air, you might want to stock up on hot chocolate. That's all for weather. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Jessica. Now turning to national and international news. 41 people are dead as the worst fire in Israel's history continues to rage. A bus carrying 41 prison guards was consumed by the blaze as it headed to rescue Palestinian inmates from a nearby prison. 30,000 people have been evacuated from their homes, and close to 10,000 acres of the Carmel forest have been consumed by the fire. International support is arriving today as 13 nations have sent emergency crews to help quell the inferno. It is unknown whether the fire was started accidentally or deliberately.
WikiLeaks has changed domain names after getting bombarded by hackers. Former WikiLeaks system provider EveryDNS dropped the website late last night after hacker attacks threatened the rest of the network. The whistleblowing website that has recently published hundreds of thousands of classified U.S. documents can no longer be found at wikileaks.org. Instead, it has moved to a Swiss domain name and is now wikileaks.ch. One internet expert says it's a smart move as Switzerland is known for not bending to international pressure.
Canada's jobless rate has fallen to its lowest level since the worst point of the recent recession. While the economy produced 15,000 new jobs in November, almost all of them were part-time. Those part-time jobs helped to bring the current rate to 7.9%. Statistics Canada also found young people were leaving the labour force in the greatest numbers since the summer of 1999, with more than 40,000 young people out of work.
The largest cheesemaker in Canada, Saputo, is recalling cheese products because they might be contaminated with listeria. The affected products include certain Faith Farms brand processed cheese, St. Albert Ribbon Slices processed cheese, and Sunspun branded sliced cheese. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency and Saputo are currently investigating the incident. No illnesses have been reported.
Justin Bieber involved in a drug bust? It's more likely than you'd think. Police raiding a Brazilian drug lord's house found themselves face to face with a giant portrait of the Canadian teen sensation. The mural had 6 tons of drugs hidden behind it. Bieber made another appearance in the drug lord's home in the form of a 3-foot scrawling of the star's name.
And now for a look at what's making news in sports, here's Heather Alford.
Now for your sports update. The Toronto Raptors will look to make it 2 in a row as they host the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. The Raps are coming off a 127-108 win against the Washington Wizards on Wednesday. The Thunder on a 2-game winning streak, hoping to make it 3. Tip-off is at 7 at the Air Canada Centre. As was expected, LeBron James was poorly received in his return to Cleveland last night as the Miami Heat destroyed the Cavaliers 118-90. Cleveland's antagonism to the player who ditched them could long be lived. Cavs fans wore their feelings on their shirts and boos filled the arena as James made his way onto the court. James was unfazed by the crowd as he went on to score a season-high 38 points in the win. From booing in the NBA to more in the NHL last night, the Edmonton Oilers embarrassed the Toronto Maple Leafs 5-0. The sold-out crowd didn't hold back their frustration with the Leafs. Their disastrous performance provoked jeering from the Leafs faithful and angry booing at the final horn. And shutouts were the theme in Ontario last night. The San Jose Sharks blanked the Ottawa Senators 4-0. At least one Canadian team had a successful night. The Montreal Canadiens' win looked effortless as they easily handled the New Jersey Devils 5-1. Carey Price continues to lead the NHL with 15 wins this season. All 6 Canadian teams are in action this weekend. Tonight, the Canucks travel to Chicago to take on the reigning Stanley Cup champion Blackhawks, and the Flames head to Minnesota to face the Wild. On Saturday, the Habs will square off against the Sharks in Montreal. The Sabres head north to Ottawa. The Edmonton Oilers hope to continue their winning streak against the St. Louis Blues, and the Maple Leafs will battle the Bruins. The Leafs have been shut out 6 times this season. Half have taken place on a Saturday. And back at Humber, both volleyball and basketball teams will close out the semester this weekend as they head out on a western road trip. All 4 teams will be at St. Clair College in Windsor on Saturday, while the men's basketball and women's volleyball teams will head to Sarnia to tangle with the Lambton Lions on Sunday. That's all for sports. Now back to Pam and Simon in the studio.
Thanks, Heather. After the break, we'll have your entertainment highlights with Romy Levine.
Coming up in entertainment, Bristol Palin gets called the worst person, The Social Network wins big, and you'll find out which celebrity would make the best dinner guest. All that and more after the break.